States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Got a chance to look through the minutes.
Motion approved.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Wait a minute, Hannah. Here's one, Kristen. Thank you.
Move to approve anything.
The claims?
I'll second that. My shoes, I brought them all down.
Good place for
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, whole business, Courtney.
Hi. I don't, do I go up there or do I just? Okay. All right.
You're on camera, just FYI.
Yeah, you're
You're on TV. We have, how many streamers we got, Brett?
My name's Courtney Laurie and this is my cousin Dakota James. We are the new owners of the Long Branch and we just kind of wanted to introduce ourselves to everybody. We didn't realize that we were a topic last time, so we're sorry that we were not here, but we're glad Larry was here to kind of stand up for us. So, yeah. I don't know.
Any questions?
Comments, concerns? Town lawyer, do you have anything for us?
Nope.
Okay. I thought you were supposed to be writing something up that we were supposed to sign.
Oh,
no, that transfer of the
transfer of
liquor
liquor license.
Okay, yeah, because you handle your own permits. We'll take care of that and I'll submit it to you and around.
That's fine, I can get a hold of her.
Okay.
Okay.
Hollywood may be calling you.
Come in. You don't even have to call us. Just come on in.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, new business, I got the Wessler Annual Contract.
Hi, I'm Jake Barker with Wessler Engineering, and we're just presenting the 2024 on-call sanitary sewer contract. That includes industrial pretreatment program assistance, wastewater assistance, ordinance, and inspection. We're asking for a total fee of $25,000. It's a $5,000 increase from last year. That increase is earmarked for any additional consulting services we may be asked for with some of the plant expansions that are going on with some of your industries here in town.
Did not exceed.
Correct, it's an hourly contract not to exceed. So whatever we don't spend will be a cost savings to the town. For instance, on that $20,000 contract last year, we spent $18,500 approximately. So there was a cost savings to the town of about $1,500.
Yeah, I've reviewed the contract. It was sent to me a week ago. I found it to be acceptable. Now, a couple of things I didn't know. Number one, the first thing I noticed was it's Amendment 15, so this has been around for a while. And I have never seen the initial contract. As with most amendments, it makes minor changes as to pricing. It does have the not to exceed price, and it incorporates all of the terms and conditions of the initial contract. So the paper in and of itself looked fine to me from a legal standpoint, and if you've been doing this for 14 years and you haven't had a problem, that's a good track record.
Sure. Just to clear up, I'm the project manager for this specific contract. I've been working on it for 13 years. So for 13 of the 15 amendments, I've been working on the budgeting, the project, and correspondence. So, if that helps.
No more questions at all?
Move to approve.
A second.
A second. Any discussion on it? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh.
This is the one for the state requires this one here.
Is that the water loss audit?
Is it Emily?
Nancy.
Nancy.
Yeah, so there's a separate contract amendment that Dave's talking about for the water loss audit. That is a state-required audit that's conducted every 2 years on the drinking water side. That audit's required to be assessed by a certified assessor. Wessler has 3 such certified assessors. And on the contract that I brought with me, I've got those certifications, if you'd like to see those. But I believe this is the 3rd audit that Wessler has provided and assessed for the town.
Did you sign that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use that
And
one.
that's a $4,000 total fee. I believe that was also hourly not to exceed.
And this is for a water loss
That's correct.
that has to be certified.
Does that include the actual, does that price include the other?
Yep, so it's two phase, oh, sorry, it's 2 separate contracts.
Right, but does it exceed, exceeding part, is that included with this, or is it separate?
Not to exceed.
Oh, it's not to exceed, so it's hourly not to exceed. So whatever we don't spend, it's a $4,000 contract, so whatever we don't spend is a cost savings to the town. And our 2024 hourly rates should be included as attachments with the contracts that you have. I've got copies if you'd like. Yep.
Yes, please. I don't have copies in front of me, so.
Here is, this is the water loss audit.
Okay.
And this is the sanitary sewer service.
25,000. Oh, I don't have a lot.
Sanitary sewer service there, and then
I have that one.
that one is the water loss audit. Yeah, I got that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another water, how's the water?
The water, yeah, I've got one back.
That's what I was thinking.
No, this is. No.
Thanks for bringing that up, Dave.
Yeah, we need to, if we're gonna pass this, when's this due?
August, it's in the contract, I think it's August 1st is when all the information has to be completed and audited. Should be in that contract.
August 1st.
August 1st, yeah.
Kristi made a motion. You got a second? Tammy's got a second. All in favor of this? Aye. Well, I got you there.
Yeah. What else do you need? Thank you.
You and I,
Oh, yeah. You were serious, yeah.
we met.
We did.
At Buggy,
Correct.
and they give us numbers. Where are we at on some of that stuff?
I haven't picked back up on that since our meeting with Bungie. Should probably reach out to Adam Sitka, who's working with the town on their water supply side.
Okay.
And then Kate Zeno is working on the treatment plant with regard to the wastewater treatment side. Bungie's numbers haven't changed since we were out there in
Less, more?
November.
You know what the numbers are, less and more?
Oh, no, they haven't sent me anything, Bungie, yeah. They were pretty confident with their numbers when we were out there. So what we have is what we're going off of right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like pretty good numbers.
Yeah, it was. We should have The water loss audit should prove really interesting because it's going to tell us, we know that we have some water loss issues, right?
And they have corrected some of them.
Right. So it's going to be really interesting when we do that water loss audit. It's also going to be interesting when we look at your pumping numbers later this year. The town also has a wellhead protection program that you maintain. And that wellhead protection plan is due to IDEM on a 5-year phase. It's due next year. And we've started to review that pumping data, and we've seen that water demand go up because of some of those loss issues that we've seen. So what's going to be really interesting this year is some of those issues have been remedied. It's going to be interesting to see where you fall as far as water consumption July, August, September, October, and we may have better numbers at that time. And that's what Adam's waiting on with the supply side, just to kind of figure out where you're at after some of those water loss issues are remedied.
If we can gain anything, we can get it to it.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Aaron.
I'm Erin Shuttleworth. I am the school nurse for Morristown Elementary, Morristown Junior Senior High School, and I'm also the district nurse for Shelby Eastern Schools. And I'm here tonight not only as a concerned worker at the school because of my occupation, but also as a citizen of this town in terms of response times for emergencies and situations that I've been posed with when EMS needs to be involved with a student at school. And the reason I wanted to come before the board is because I know that our fire department has an ambulance, and I think that's great. And I wanted to pose the question, how many actual transports have we used the ambulance for? What are the plans for employing somebody so that our ambulance is usable and actually functions in a way that supports me? Because right now, Shelbyville, as you all know, if you've had to call 911 for anything, it's 25 to 30 minutes before they show up. And so what happens is I will get support from EMS here in town, but we can't do anything. We can't transport, we can't give drugs, we can't intubate, we can't do anything. So we all just end up standing around staring at each other for 25 minutes until Shelbyville gets here. And so I want to know what the long-term plan is because it puts me in a bad spot.
We have the fire chief here tonight. He can explain some of these questions.
Yeah.
I would have to look at the data.
Steve, you gotta come up.
I would have to look at the more recent data, but the data I looked at before, the response time for Shelbyville is usually 17 to 18 minutes to Morristown, not 25 to 30. Is that what you quoted?
Yes.
25 to 30. Well, that data is wrong.
Well, I'm there, sir, and I have employees here at the school that can attest. It is every bit of that time, and my hands are tied.
I have legal documents that will prove that wrong.
Okay, so what is the long-term plan?
Long-term plan is the Morristown Fire Board, which is comprised of the town council and the township administration. We are currently working right now to get daytime staffing in this station.
Okay, so how many transports have you done with the ambulance?
I believe over 20, less than 30,
Okay, all BLS.
all BLS,
Right.
it's a BLS service.
Okay, so do we plan on hiring EMTs that are certified to be on the ambulance, or either a part-time paramedic, a full-time paramedic, somebody that can administer drugs and start an IV and do something, other than me standing there and staring at people that can't do anything except wait for Shelbyville to get here?
One of the problems, Aaron, is right now I'm currently working on firemen. And just have an EMT firefighter is gonna run this town $100,000 a year for each one.
Can we do part-time? Can we get a
We
part-time
currently
paramedic?
have part-time. don't
We've
we?
tried that since January 1st, 2020. And we have missed shifts. We've had people that couldn't, I guess, meet the criteria of what we were trying to get done as far as getting apparatus out of here. We are fire-based, and we want people that can do all aspects of the job, fire, rescue, and EMS. So that's what we're after.
So why, Fountain Town has a part-time paramedic. Why are they not coming?
Most days, they do.
Okay,
We've had our share of problems with Fountain Town. I'm not going to elaborate that in a public meeting. There have been past issues on incidents that I won't get into, so I don't violate law. We have ISO rating for Morristown that has to deal with fire protection rating for insurance, that it was detrimental, it became detrimental for us to have those ties to Fountain Town like we've had previously. We do not intend to have paramedics anytime in the near future, regardless of what people want to get upset about. Shelbyville Fire Department paramedics have been the taxpayer-funded EMS service for this county for over 40 years. That's not Morristown's decision. That's not my decision. That's the county council and the county commissioners.
what I'm here to pose as a citizen and what all of you should be concerned about is if something happens to you or a family member, that's how long it's going to take them to get here. And I'm concerned about it because I'm the nurse over here at school, and I know what I see and deal with on a regular basis, and it is unacceptable. So I don't know what your problem is with volunteer fire department in Fountain Town. I don't care. Your responsibility, their responsibility, are the people in this community.
That is correct.
Okay, well, you guys need to overcome your differences, and Fountain Town needs to show up, because guess what they have that we don't? They have a part-time paramedic.
Sometimes. The majority of the time.
Sometimes
Not
is
every
better
time.
than no time.
You have a paramedic service, a provided paramedic
Correct.
service that is normally 17 to 18 minutes away. Now, Morristown EMTs are quite capable to take interventions.
Basic life
up to
support.
cardiac arrest.
Basic life support. All the same things I can do as a BSN. I have an AED. I can give oxygen. I can take their vital signs. But I can't start an IV and give them meds that are directed by a physician at a hospital that is the same jurisdiction for Shelbyville. And that is what we need here.
Can Fountain Town do that on that ambulance, Steve?
If they have a paramedic on that ambulance and it's ALS for the day, I do not know.
So they have the drugs on the ambulance?
That is correct.
Yes. I do not know what drugs they carry on their ambulance. That is based on the protocols of the doctor that is medical control.
And you could have a paramedic on this one too.
Yeah, we could. Let's up it to $150,000 a year per person.
The town is diligently trying to hire people. We're trying to do our job. We are trying to, Steve Davis, the other chief, has been to the county to try to get money to help us as a town to hire these people. The funding is in question at the moment because of the amount of, the insurance alone is over $30,000, not including the salary pay. So it's not like we are not sitting here doing nothing. We are still, bottom line, a volunteer fire department as we've been since I've been on the board, since he's been on the board. And we're not
Besides
trying to
the
do
school.
anything about this.
You're having this influx of people come into this town. Bungie, whatever industry you bring into town, the risk for injuries, more people moving here. I'm telling you, not as a nurse, but as somebody that lives here, I don't feel comfortable waiting that long for something that seriously happens. And I'm sure that any of you, if you were in that situation, wouldn't like it either. I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm the one left holding the bag over there until Shelbyville gets here. That's the way I feel. It's too long.
If that is your argument, then your argument is not with this board, your argument is with the county council.
Then why do we have an ambulance? To transfer, like, to
We just.
minor injury stuff?
We're just trying to do it.
Right.
And
Very beginning
there's nothing that
stages.
says that we have to furnish you medical roads. This is a fire department from, that's the way it started. We're trying to incorporate that with the fire department. And it's just like anything else, it takes money to run it. We've said, I don't know, around here what we've been trying to do. We've got things we're trying to pull money out of to get 3 firemen 5 days a week here, so we can do that.
It's public knowledge how much money the town has. And I understand there's a budget and there's needs in other areas. But this is an important need.
We know that.
And we have an ambulance. And what I'm saying is, I would like to know what we plan on doing with it.
It took almost a year just with the certifications, the inspections. It took almost a year just to get it to be able to make it run.
Legally, I've been on it 13 years and we've been working to get to this point. So
Legally.
it's not overnight that we just magically wave a wand to make this happen. We have been baby stepping to be able to get to this point, being able to find the funds, being able to get the ambulance. It's a used ambulance, but we are, as a board, we understand your concern, and that's why we continue. We don't drop it, we just continue on the path until we finally get to our destination. It's even on the salary ordinance to try to make this happen this year. So it's not like we're not trying. We're desperately trying. All of us, especially this man right here, has got, I don't know how many heart attacks.
I know. I have talked to Dave and this
It's
about
not like it's not like the board is not doing our best to make this happen. And I'd like you to understand the frustration. We, as a board, have been trying to get to this point that you would like us to be at. So we're not working at it. We've had meetings after meetings after meetings to get there. In fact, an executive session to try to get there also. So our frustration comes the same as yours. We are trying to get to that level, and nothing happens fast in government, unfortunately. And the bottom line is, we are a volunteer still fire department, and we have to rely on the county.
And the taxpayers' money for EMS all goes to Shelbyville. So we're trying to, there's been meetings with the Shelby County Council trying to pull some of that back in
Right, instead of them build another department out there, we're trying to get them to get money. Instead of build another department in Shelbyville, we're trying to say, give us a fund, give them a fund, give them a piece of the pie so that we can have closer here, closer there, closer there. That is what we are working at. Now, if it's gonna happen, that's not up to us. He's correct about that. That's up to the county.
And I
And so
think
far,
the
we've
more
seen
people
no-
that go to the
we've
county
seen-
council meetings and say what you're saying, we need
Yes.
something in Morristown, would be a tremendous help.
Yes, and we'd love you to go to the county and explain to them, we need this. Because we went there, we tried it, we talked to them, and we diligently would like them to look at that. They're trying to build it in Shelbyville. We don't want that. We want it divided so that we can have our own, so that Fountain Town, or not Fountain Town, but, what's, Morrill, sorry.
Yeah, the ambulance came from Morrill when they got out of the ambulance business.
Yeah, I mean, we are trying, and I want you to understand that it's not, we're diligently trying.
I'm
Well,
sure it's a frustration of more than just.
But it would help if you would go to the county.
And what would help is, Steve, I'm willing to go again, but if we had 25 people there with us, it would make a difference.
Well, me personally, as fire chief, back in 2008, I started laying the groundwork for where we're at now.
Yes.
We had rescue equipment on a truck. We had to get that to the engines. The town has been gracious enough and found the funds since 2009 to buy us 2 engines capable of doing that. So we have completely revamped the way we do business beginning in 2008, 2009. It's taken a while to get to where we're at. but we're still moving forward.
And we plan to not stop. We plan to continue until we can get where we need to be.
My frustration just, I'm sure it's just not lying here. It's with the county as well. It's just sitting there waiting.
I wish the county would look at the population areas and factor that in to what we're trying to do here.
Well, I'm not gonna cast down to the county council and the county commissioners. That's the way it has been, I know, from the 1980s, when I started in this fire department. We are trying to plant the seeds that it's time to do things different. And that's what we are working on. And whether the county ever gets there or not, it's easy for the county to write a check to the city of Shelbyville once a year and take care of it. Shelbyville's always threatening to quit running the county. It goes back and forth all the time, but it's not in our control.
As I was saying, I just wish that the staging could be different throughout the county.
Right.
Using the same model as that we used at Parkview Hospital in Fort Wayne. We had 3 helicopters, but they weren't all at the hospital. We had one in Rochester, we had one in southern Michigan. Because having that even spread, and whether it's your ambulance or your helicopter, evenly distributed without the county just seems to.
And I know that's
Make
been
more
approached
sense.
with Shelbyville, getting one of their ambulances up here and staffing it. They're not interested. They won't do it. We
It's
tried.
not like,
I mean, that has been something that has been brought up to Shelbyville, Shelby County, EMS. Stage somebody up here. You make the runs up here, stage somebody. And
Takes half the time to get to Shelbyville.
they won't staff us.
but we
up
are
here.
doing our best. We are still doing part-time, when we can, and we are doing our best. As the fire chief's doing his best, we are doing our best to make it happen. And unfortunately, it's not gonna be tomorrow.
Getting paid staff was one of my goals when I ran for election the first time. This is my 5th year, and we've come tremendously from where we were, but it is, I'm optimistic we're gonna get there, and it's our goal. I just don't know how quick it's gonna be, but we are
So
trying.
just
I mean,
so
we
you know,
really are
We are
diligently
really
trying.
trying. Morgan knows, she's new on the board, we're trying to find the funds, we've hired, other people to try to find how we can get the funds to make this happen. We've had to bring in another attorney for the TIF board to be able to see how much we can do 3 years, 5 years out, so just so you understand, we're not here just twiddling our thumbs.
And everything's a week at a time, it turns into 2 weeks.
We were hoping by March to start the process to hire. We don't know that that's gonna happen. But we're gonna keep on the train to make it happen. We're trying to make it happen.
Still our goal.
Our goal.
Well, I just appreciate you letting me come in and
Well, appreciate
share
you.
my frustration.
We understand, we're all citizens ourselves, don't wanna wait that, but unfortunately, we are a voluntary department, that's what we are, we do have to wait for the county, we have to wait for the county, but what we have, when we have them, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Okay. Any other new business? You're up, Morgan.
We'll start from that. I had emailed that new Focus HR when we were talking about, she's got back with me. She wants to know, we need to sit down and have a meeting so I know what all we want to look for and add into that to update the handbook stuff we had discussed with so we are moving on that. I printed off for everybody a SEAL quote that I received in an email. It's good for 30 days. It's just saying that this year we do need to get the Morristown Town Hall lot seal coated.
John
And
looked over this, have you seen this, John?
this is, I was gonna say, and then I got another one that he said he's gonna send us a new one for the wastewater plant. that's what I said, do you get another bid? I don't know. You
Yeah,
always tell me.
I would get another bid if we can. I don't know if Brandon still does it, does he?
Brandon still does it. He did
Does he
our,
still do steel cutting?
yeah, he did our wastewater plant and.
I'd reach out to him for a quote too, at
That's
least.
what this is about.
Yeah.
See over here?
Steel coating the,
Yeah, I just printed the email so you guys knew what he had
And
said.
restriping.
steel coating and restriping the.
I didn't think it needed it.
And then, I have a invoice for Biz Digital. Brad told me it is not completed yet, so I'm not paying it, but it's $5,600. So when it is completed and Brad tells me it's done, I just wanted to get approval to pay it since how large it was. That's all I have.
Vote with the motion to approve that one.
Yeah, Brad sent me an email, said it's not done yet, so I'm not going to, but when it's completed, I need, yeah, a motion.
Motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Morgan. Legal.
I'll make some brief comments. Number one, at the last meeting, there was discussion of protocols and policy concerning the fact that streaming of public meetings is now mandated. That statute does not take effect until July 1, 2025, but Morristown's ahead of the curve. And I gave Officer Critipo this evening what I've drafted. I can share it with you. It needs to be tweaked. There's no doubt about that. And he has an issue that I think I'll let him explain, but it makes perfect sense. You're required to maintain the records, we'll call them that, for 90 days. After that, they can be discarded. As a practical matter, they may hang around longer than that. You are entitled to charge expenses under the Indiana Access Public Records Act. We were discussing that. The expenses have to be low end and reasonable. So if somebody wants a copy, they're probably the most effective way to provide that to them is to download it to a flash drive. So we were talking about how many megs you need from the outside, what's the cost of that flash drive, and so on. I make certain assumptions. I've drafted under the policy that a request for records would be presented to the Clerk-Treasurer. I can pass this out and you can look at it, but again, draft, because I've already seen a couple of clinkers in here. And I suggest that Crystal and I interact and hammer out something that is acceptable.
Okay.
And you had a comment real quick. I don't mean to drag you into this, but
No, it's fine.
it's interesting.
On that point, something we need to think about, the 90 days, we would maintain it within our own hard drive. My plan right now is to take the current file and then upload it to YouTube, so that gives an external location for it. It also gets rid of this issue of having to give a copy of it if need be, then you just go to YouTube and watch it. The question I have though is we need to determine when we want that uploaded. So I guess the general policy that some locations use is not until the minutes of the meeting are approved at the next meeting. However, with us, that's 2 weeks. The other thought I had was 24 hours. That way it gives us time for it to upload remotely and then gives us some time frame to get it uploaded to be available on YouTube. So that's just whatever you guys.
How long does YouTube keep it?
Indefinite.
Forever.
Yeah, forever.
Nothing on the internet ever dies.
Yeah, they're on Google servers, so I mean, they're huge and they'll set their.
Don't think it'll get censored.
Yeah, they'll set the, well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, somebody can still report it and it can get reported, but I mean, that's nothing we can do about that.
Does it have to go through YouTube?
It does not. The only thing that helps us out is the public access. That way it's there and available. And if somebody wants to watch it 24 hours a day or at a later time, it's easier to do than us.
Send them the link and.
Well, they can just go to we already have a pre-existing YouTube channel, so they can just go there and it's already there.
Instead of asking me or
Yeah.
making your.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know about the YouTube. I mean, I knew you had your channel, but we talked this evening. There's always pros and cons to this. The YouTube idea as to ready access, just say, here's where you go, enjoy. That's fantastic. The leading case on document retention is the Ernst & Young case out of the U.S. Supreme Court, and Justice Rehnquist said, document retention programs really are document destruction programs. So the downside is, it's gonna hang around for months, years, and who knows. Now, then maybe that's not a bad thing, but, it does raise the specter, well, in 2019, like, you people said this. Not in the minutes, we don't remember it, but, so that's an example, but we can,
And we can write a policy within that says that we remove it from YouTube after 1 year.
if you can do that, that's
Whatever,
great.
yeah, as long as there's some type of policy that backs up that.
But we could remove it from our channel, but somebody could have
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's,
copied it.
So you're not responsible for that.
Yeah,
right?
that's not our-
That's, again, and the statute's reasonably well drafted, there are exceptions, you're not responsible if there's a technical difficulty, that doesn't delay a meeting and so on and so on, so.
Are most people gonna be doing this, or are they just gonna keep it for the 90 days and then remove it up, like, so that they can have a flash drive and?
well, most people are sending it up to YouTube. We're doing a live stream, so we don't have to deal with all the technical sides of sending it to YouTube. That cuts a third party out of our problem. We're our own party, it goes right to the web, you don't have to worry about YouTube being down or, some issue with that, or somebody reporting it. So I'm just using YouTube as a public access location for them to be able to get to that meeting after the fact, after it's done and over.
Ray, can we put it on our website, then take it off and put it on a flash drive? And that way we could keep these flash drives.
Our website's only so large, so
I mean, take it off for 90 days or 60 days, whatever we want to.
we could try that, but I think we're gonna run into storage issues on our,
90 days, you're gonna have
Then you don't have to store it, as long as it's on
two
the
fire
flash drive,
department
right?
a month and the fire board.
it has to be, it has to be stored somewhere, so you're
So like
talking,
2 flash drives a year.
oh, no, we're talking, like, the meeting last week, that was an hour long, was 500 megabytes. So we started,
Speak that in flash drive, how many?
so you're talking like, at least a thumb drive a meeting. So you're gonna end up
We're
with,
not even sure this is gonna pass. If this passes, are we gonna still do it?
It's already passed.
No, it's passed.
It's
It
passed.
was signed into law.
But I don't have to have it done.
They
until July.
delayed the effective date, pushing it out to 2025 to allow communities to
Get where we are.
integrate into the program.
yeah, the only thing I'm looking at is just public access to it, to make it easy to access it. Required far less issue of us spending, man hours and time and buying thumb drives and making copies and things along those lines. If we can just point them to the YouTube channel, they can go there and watch it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So, yeah, you're looking at 48 meetings a month minimum.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just town board meetings.
Yeah, public meetings have to be.
Yeah, so you're probably talking over 150 meetings a year that you're talking about.
TIF, Plan Commission, everything.
And if you get a bargain thumb drive, you're talking 15, 20 bucks a piece times. So,
My personal opinion, I thought the YouTube idea was brilliant.
I know I wanna watch them.
yeah, just the big question is how long you want to wait to put it on there. Do we want to go to 24, or do we want to wait till the minutes are approved? Which minutes really, I mean, depending on how you look at it, the minutes aren't technically valid until you approve them. However, the speaking word is the speaking word. It doesn't matter, the minutes are their own body and their own entity. So that is your official record, is your minutes. So it doesn't matter what's been said or spoke during a public meeting, that can't be held or used. That is just
You guys wanna do it?
Let's see if we do YouTube.
How soon? 24 hours? In minutes?
Personally.
Thank you.
Usually within 24, 48 hours, yeah, I can have it up there.
I guess that would be what I'd say, 24 to 48 hours in case there's a glitch, or you're unavailable, or that gives a cushion that we can,
There's no law when we have to put it in.
No. No, the law states it has to be publicly available, so take that as you will, but YouTube's pretty publicly available. I mean, anybody who has the
So
internet.
once
can
they're
access it.
approved, they'll go.
Well, if you do the 48, it would be once the meeting's finished, then it would be 24 to 48 hours after the meeting's over that it lands on
otherwise it would
YouTube.
be
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks
yeah.
plus a couple days to get them after we approve the minutes.
And then as far as the bill, they were supposed to be here within 2 weeks to put the switch in. They sent me an email saying it'd be the February 16th. I brought back up, it was supposed to be 2 weeks. They said, how about February 1st? And then I haven't heard anything else. So sometime between the 1st and the 16th, they should be here to put the switch in.
And that goes, that's for
It'll
some.
be back there on the wall, and then there'll be a ceiling right here that lights up. We're thinking about putting the light in the back so whoever's sitting here can see that it's on.
They have a disco ball around.
And good. What you're looking for. There is options.
Everybody all right there?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Real quick, next, and then I'll be done. Last meeting, there was a question about conflict of interest, and I made comments that frankly, people, probably are unduly sensitive to what a conflict of interest is. I have a copy of the statute. Now, the thing about the statute, I'll give everyone a copy, is, let's have a single conflict of interest statute, and let's throw in everybody, university boards of trustees, and da. The fact of the matter is, a conflict of interest only arises where a public servant or a dependent of a public servant or a spouse of a public servant would have a pecuniary interest in a contract or purchase if the contract or purchase will result or is intended to result in an ascertainable increase in the income or net worth of the public servant. And that really seldom is the case. Now, there's also the methodology by which to disclose a conflict of interest, and that insulates the public servant from liability. So I'll give you a copy of the statute, and I thought this would be of interest and benefit to you.
Okay.
So the bottom line is we'll just say this. I work for Bungie. Bungie wants a crosswalk. I sit on the council. That's not a conflict of interest because it's not going to make one penny's worth of difference in your paycheck. If on the other hand, my wife works for Acme Office Supplies and I want to approve the contract for Acme Office Supplies and she's paid on commission, that's a conflict of interest. So I would pass these around. Really,
I got it.
that's all I have for this evening.
Yeah.
Or do we still have a sign, like Don Roberts always has a sign?
Yeah, I thought that he was gonna bring the Brian, were you gonna bring the nepotism, I thought, this meeting?
I did not. I didn't know that you wanted to talk about nepotism, but I can.
I thought that was
Here we
what,
signed.
yeah, and I thought that we had, last meeting, so I didn't worry about it, because I
We signed
thought.
on to the Indian State nepotism law a few years ago, and we just reiterate
Yeah.
that each year.
We can sign it before we.
Which
go.
I can print them, and we don't have to do it in a meeting, do we? If
No,
they just come and sign
no.
it.
I mean, that's routine. That's routine. Shoot to me, I'll take a look and just send out my email and request signature.
There's probably one in
We
the
probably
office
have
somewhere.
a copy of it.
That's what I was gonna say, there's probably one.
Just send, he said send in one and
Okay.
look at it. And that works.
Like, oh, Brian, we're having it's gonna make time available, February 6th, fire board meeting here, executive session.
What time?
7, I believe it said.
Morgan, you'll look at, make sure that's.
Writing it down.
That's
February 7th, 7 PM,
February
fireworks.
6th at 7
February
PM.
6th.
February 6th,
7 PM, got it. Executive session for the fire board.
Is there a way, Morgan, you can, get that to the township people too?
Is that Thomas? You ready to get it?
Thomas,
Charles.
Charles.
Craig Brewer.
Craig Brewer. You have their, and, yes, and Elaine gets Jerry.
And Jerry.
February
That way
6th,
we'll-
5:46. Got it.
That way we'll have everybody here, maybe,
If they can't make it in person, we can Zoom all.
February 6th.
Yeah. If you
Jerry.
hear Brad, if they can't make it in person, they could Zoom. We did pass that,
Yeah, we can
last
do
year.
that, Jerry.
last fall, we did pass that.
Yeah.
See you somewhere.
You gonna hear from Jerry, Brad?
I'm sure it is.
Let him know about this, and if we want to handle it that way, we'll do it that way, too. Okay? That it, Brian?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Henry?
I'll come up to the podium. So the last couple of weeks have been rather interesting. So let's start out with, I was advised that I never told you guys officially that I have an autoimmune disease called myasthenia gravis. I've been put on some prednisone. I've been taking 50 milligram a day for over 7 months. I'm being weaned off of it. I'm doing IV blood transfusions monthly. Back in October, I was put on a CPAP machine. By the rules of our insurance company, you have to have compliance with said CPAP machine. You have to wear it a minimum of 4 hours. It's set up by somebody else. You have to wear it. If you don't wear it, they don't pay for it, you pay for it. So, give me a second here. The 14th, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I fell on a porch. No big deal. Henry fell again. Besides being embarrassed, I couldn't get up, and once I got up, I couldn't breathe. So I went to the car, sat there a while, ended up at the hospital. Spent 6 days at a major hospital. Well, finally, they decided that their CPAP machine wasn't good enough, I needed to bring mine. And we found out my CPAP machine was killing me. That's the reason I was in the hospital. It was starving me of oxygen. It was set for 9, it should have been set at 14. So it has damaged my heart a little bit. But here's the bad part. I'm off work until April 23rd.
Henry, we have a short-term disability.
I have the lady's information that my heart doctor is going to help with, but what about insurance? What about,
In the
You're
past,
on short-term, we usually
in the past, we carried the
carry
insurance
the
on.
insurance if you're on disability. We should, I mean, I think.
Right, he's asking about his
His-
weekly pay that he pays towards his insurance.
In the
like
past, we
family.
continued that while they were,
So the town covers it or Henry covers it? What is,
we covered it.
okay, that's what.
okay. That's, I mean, hell, I've got one medicine that's $790 a month. And that's not counting the blood transfusions. I have no clue on that yet. I'm late on getting it. I go to the, they call it the heart failure unit on the 23rd of next month, but, you know, I'm worried about the insurance and the cost and everything else. So here's the only copy I got. I didn't think to make a copy of it, but here's my off-duty sheet.
So I got a motion to go ahead and cover his insurance.
Are you the motion?
I'll motion it.
Okay.
I'll say.
Second?
Second.
The second. All in favor? Aye.
Okay, the second part is, and Shelby County is setting up a critical incident team for mental health, substance abuse, and stuff like that. I've been part of this with Lee and all the community members and probation, the whole 9 yards. The training starts February the 5th. It runs through the 9th. I'd still like to take it. The only problem is what's actually keeping me from coming back to work after the 23rd of next month is they have now lumped police officers in with public safety transportation people. Granted, the people that we transport are normally handcuffed in the back screaming, yelling, and cussing, but they're still the public. And since this is pulmonary related, I'm not allowed to transport anybody in my police car. And that is what got me all this damn time off, is because everything's respiratory related. I can drive the car by myself. Can I have permission to still go down and take his class?
What's that? What legal is?
Disability.
Wasn't expecting the question.
That's your department.
I don't know what the parameters of your disability policy are. I mean, it's axiomatic, you're not gonna be covered on disability benefits if you're working part-time. This seems pretty minor to me.
Okay,
It's work-related, but it's not work per se. Does that make sense?
what if I just drive down there and take a class?
I don't see a problem with that, and,
Okay.
you know, but,
That's all right then.
you know, caveat, I
That
haven't.
says no to not work, so I feel like we don't want to.
It's not really working, it's just sitting on their ass getting lectured to. I'm sorry to you.
I don't know what your policy says. I've never seen your disability
I think we have to
insurance.
look at our disability
If you give
insurance
me
to
a
make sure
copy
that
of
it
this-
doesn't hurt you to go to that class.
I mean,
You've got time. If you give me a copy of the disability policy, I can review it in no time.
I already got it.
And it'll jump
I'll
out.
have to get.
I'll get in contact with Brady.
So we
and you need to get the forms from the insurance
need
company.
to have her contact Brady tomorrow.
Yeah, she's going to.
Okay.
That,
I forget the lady's name down there, she said she was sending you stuff that you asked for anyway.
It's for my short-term and stuff. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's his assistant.
So
Okay.
you should be April 1st.
April 23rd.
23rd. You want me to cover for you? Give it back?
That's why he's here.
Okay.
He's answering calls during the day some, the county's answering calls.
Right. I mean, that's all he did. Tom has permissions. It's just normal day. You could leave for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, normal stuff, where I'm gone for 15, 20 minutes to handle something. And if it's something major, the county can handle it in line.
I will get some more speed limit signs, right, around the places.
Sorry.
I've got the,
Yeah, take care of yourself.
if you need anything, call us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks, Cindy. Brad,
I don't remember what I had.
we're down to Dawn.
I don't have anything new, boss.
Okay, Mark.
Yes, I got it. So, as we know, solar eclipse is coming up and it's all the talk of Shelby County. People are losing their minds over the sun disappearing for, say what?
This is the epicenter?
Yeah. Yeah, the epicenter. So, people are losing their minds of not having sun for about 4 minutes, so. The total duration is supposed to be for about 2.5 hours. I mean, that includes the partial until it's, it begins to the end. They're predicting the full totality beginning at 3:06 and ending at 3:08, so ending at 3:10, so about 4 minutes there.
What date is this?
April 8th.
April 8th?
Yes, so quickly approaching, it'll be here before we know it. So I know there's been talk about, having something out at the park, opening up the park to people and such. I know that, we don't want any overnight camping, overnight parking, so thoughts were closing the park on Sunday, afternoonish sometime, just to help prevent that. I don't know if that's something we can do or not. And then, if so, what time opening the park up, Monday morning on that. I know parking is going to be limited as well too. I don't know how many people are expected to invade Morristown on that day. I know Shelbyville's expecting a pretty large amount of stuff, but
40,000 anyway.
But with that question, what's the park's capacity? Do we know that to an extent?
That's the fire chief.
I don't think there's capacity on it, but my concern that I expressed to a town council member was, I would be more worried about the damage done, permanent damage done to the turf if you allow people to park off-road. So.
Especially if it's been rainy or.
We're starting to get into a wet spring.
Yeah.
So,
in your opinion, what would be a safe amount, if you will, out there?
Well, the concern in emergency services we have is all the people that are just gonna stop in the middle of the road and pretty much block roads.
Right.
While the eclipse is happening. So that's the main concern of emergency services. But I would say, however many parking spots in there would definitely be safe.
I can go out tomorrow and count our parking spots on the.
You got a weather forecast?
I don't know. No, I go about 10 days out.
I almost worried clothes that people are gonna go in there anyway.
They're gonna go in it.
They're gonna-
The more she continues to get closer.
They're gonna climb over the fence. They're
Yeah.
gonna Move the barricades.
Park on the road.
Yeah,
I
I-
kids are
I-
out of school too.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think I think we're gonna have people in there even if we try to close it. So-
Right.
Is the parking lot open still at all?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't closing the park down the entirety. It
Right.
was just kind of Sunday afternoon, evening to keep people from that overnight in there, getting back out Monday morning and opening it, back up and then allowing access
And
at that
put
point, so.
barricades out so that, they don't drive through the grass.
So I know we had talked, I had talked with Craig, about parking back in, with the Willie property that we've cleared out along with, the Craneys and stuff. And, it's going to be the Willie property and that back run where we eventually want to put a road and stuff. It's going to be too wet and too soppy for parking back there. So that takes some away. I think on the northeast corner, east of the playground, we could do some parking over there. We could probably fit about 3 rows of cars if we parked first row up against the field, backed them right up to the field, then right up to the front row, right up to the drive, and the second row right behind them, and that gives space in between, which would give us some, depending on weather and ground conditions, would give us some additional parking. So just some things to think about there. And then concession stands, concessions, I've reached out to a couple of food truck places, they've been booked, I'm gonna try some more. I know that taco truck that was here in town, I don't know if they're booked, I gotta reach out to them. I wanted to reach out to the,
March.
see what?
He's in Mexico until March, seriously.
Oh,
So you won't get a hold of him until March.
Well, okay, well, thanks for that info.
You want to fly there?
Yeah. So I'll have Morgan book me a ticket.
I'm not paying for that.
But I'm waiting to hear back from Dan Theobald, athletic director with the school. I talked to him about, maybe some of the sports teams wanting to do a fundraiser and serving food out there, cooking hot dogs, hamburgers. He has to contact the school board because it is an e-learning day for the school, and they're not allowed to have any practices or anything that day because of that. So to see if that would be an acceptable, that they could do, activity that they could do that day, along with the Boys and Girls Club. I was gonna kind of put them third, right behind a couple of the sports teams, let them get some good fundraising opportunities for their programs, because they get limited, so. That's all I had. So, just kind of, my main things was, if we wanted to close or if we could on Sundays, just to kind of block access, entrance to prevent the overnight, camping out, and, and the capacity to plan for that, and at what point we would need to shut it down during the entrance during the day as it goes along, so.
Concessions are fine with closing it down, I don't know about that one.
I say leave it at that.
Do we have no overnight signs up? I can't
No,
remember.
I don't think probably close it, probably need to put, make sure Brad and maybe.
Yes, so, do I have them?
We probably need some no overnight camping, no overnight parking.
So, Shelby County, click shelbycountyIN.com has some, signs. A couple of them was a parking available that we could put up, and they also had like a no parking, no camping. And getting a hold of, I guess, maybe Doty Graphics and seeing if he can make some of those signs. You just stick on normal wire frames that we could stick out there.
That would be a mess if we had.
We probably need
An extra bathroom.
Toilets.
Yeah.
They're expensive too.
So, never thought of having camping out there at any point in time, but
Well, that's what all those electric hookups are,
yeah,
was for concessions, fair, camping.
right.
Not just camping open to the public, but for events, like
Yeah.
your campers for your carnival or whatever.
Just do you motion and get it closed?
Yeah,
Make a motion. Dave, I'll make a motion, we have Dave get signs.
Second.
motion second, all in favor?
Okay. I'll get some signs made up there, so.
What's your other events this summer?
See what?
What's your other events you got planned for the summer?
That's it so far. So,
Dave, that's the,
I may finish
that's
it.
the new playground equipment.
it got pushed back, to the beginning, like the first, second week of February. I guess some delays on shipping or something like that. It was delays on the, not manufacturer, but the company that they purchased it from, delays on their end. So they're supposed to be sending their, I guess, project manager out or whatever he is, to look at the site and make sure that it's suitable and okay to move forward, and nothing else has to be done with it. And if so, they'll let us know what needs to be done. So still a bit of a slope there, but we'll see how it works when he comes out and such. So
Thanks, Dave.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, revitalization, I don't really have anything on that, unless you guys do.
How about the contract for the windows, the crane building?
Yeah, I talked to Morgan today, because I had found out that they never received it. Elaine emailed it to them today. I sent him a message that it's there, I've got a copy, it's in the email. So hopefully, because he hasn't received it yet, so it should be in his email or his hands today, and I'll follow up with him tomorrow.
Thanks. Okay, Plan Commission, we're in the process of starting the book rework. Fire Board, we're in the process of I'll give a few more here next week, because we need to say out these numbers one more time.
Yeah, and I just gotta get back with that new Focus HR to let her know, like, what we're looking for and what we need. She needs something.
We need a book kind of put
Jeff
together.
ran some good conferences.
Yeah.
Coming.
That's all the just because we need all this information in one file. That's about that. Any miscellaneous?
Need to be adjourned.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Brad,